Why they betrayed you. A few years ago, I found myself staring at a text message that shattered my world. It was a message meant for someone else, proof that a person I trusted with all my heart had been deceiving me. In that moment, my hands trembled and my chest tightened. I felt a rush of confusion, anger, and deep hurt all at once. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you cared about, you know exactly that gut punch feeling I'm talking about. It's as if the ground beneath you gives way, and nothing makes sense. Tonight, I want to talk about why they betrayed you, not to excuse what happened, but to help you understand it, find clarity, and begin healing. The deep pain of betrayal. Betrayal isn't just in your head, it cuts deep. We often say, it felt like a stab in the back, and science tells us this is more than just a metaphor. Researchers have found that the pain of social betrayal or rejection lights up the same regions of the brain as physical pain. In other words, when you were betrayed, your brain responded as if you'd been physically hurt. No wonder it hurts so much. It's real pain. You might be feeling a whirlwind of emotions: heartbreak, anger, sadness, maybe even shame or self-doubt. You trusted someone, and they broke that trust. It's important to acknowledge that pain. Take a moment to understand you are not overreacting or weak for feeling this way. Betrayal hurts, plain and simple, and it's okay to feel hurt. In fact, feeling devastated after betrayal means you cared. It means the relationship mattered to you. Let me assure you of this. You are not alone in this experience. Betrayal is unfortunately a universal human experience, one that has happened throughout history and happens to people every day. When we're betrayed, we often feel isolated, as if no one could possibly understand the depth of our pain. But many have walked this road. Think of literature and history. They're full of betrayal stories. A friend turning on a friend, a partner cheating, a comrade selling out his people. These stories exist in every culture, every era. Even the word betrayal might bring to mind famous examples. For instance, over 2,000 years ago in ancient Rome, Julius Caesar was betrayed by his close friend Brutus, an act so infamous that Brutus became synonymous with traitor. We hear that and remember how shocked Caesar was, allegedly crying out, "Et tu, Brute?" meaning "You too, Brutus?" at the sight of his friend among his attackers. It shows that feeling of utter disbelief when someone you trust deeply turns around and hurts you. Even a great leader like Caesar wasn't immune to betrayal. And consider the wisdom of the Stoics, ancient philosophers who faced their share of broken trust. One of Rome's great emperors, Marcus Aurelius, reminded himself each morning that people he met could be selfish, ungrateful, even treacherous. The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly, he wrote in his journal. Far from being cynical, he was preparing himself not to be blindsided by betrayal. Marcus Aurelius knew that betrayal says more about the betrayer's character than it does about the person betrayed. His advice, in essence, was, expect that some people will behave badly, so when it happens, you won't blame yourself. This ancient insight can give us a bit of comfort, realizing that betrayal is something that even wise and powerful people have endured, and that when someone betrays us, it's a reflection of their choices and their character, not our worth. Why they betrayed you. Understanding it wasn't your fault. When you've been hurt like this, it's natural to ask, why? Why did they do it? How could they do this to me? It's one of the hardest questions, and sometimes we never get a clear answer from the person who betrayed us. But we can try to understand some common reasons people betray those who trust them. Importantly, none of these reasons excuse what they did, but they can help you see that it wasn't because you deserved it. In fact, psychologists and counselors who study betrayal have found that the motives for betrayal almost always come from the betrayer's own issues, not from any failing in you. Here are a few common reasons why someone betrays another. Selfish motives or personal gain. Often, a betrayal happens because the person was putting their own desires first. Maybe they wanted something, money, power, pleasure, or approval, and they chose to go after that, even if it meant hurting you. They might have thought only of their benefit in that moment. For example, a friend might spread your secret to feel important in another group, or a partner might cheat to satisfy an ego or craving. It's a cruel and short-sighted choice, but it stems from their selfishness, not any lack in you. Fear and avoidance. Sometimes people betray because they're afraid to face the truth or consequences. Instead of being honest, they lie or hide things, thinking it will be easier. A friend might avoid telling you they've grown distant and then ghost you or talk behind your back, betraying your trust because they didn't have the courage to have a hard conversation. Or they made a mistake and feared your reaction, so they covered it up with bigger lies. Their cowardice or fear drove them, again reflecting their weakness. Lack of empathy or integrity. Some individuals betray simply because they don't empathize with others' feelings, or they lack a strong moral compass. They might not truly feel how much their action would hurt you, or worse, they might know and not care enough. If someone is unable to put themselves in another's shoes, they can betray without the guilt that would stop a more empathetic person. This could be due to how they are. Sometimes people with certain toxic traits, like narcissism, view others as tools, not as equals with feelings. That's their flaw, not yours. Insecurity and jealousy. In some cases, a person betrays you because of their own inner insecurity. They might feel inadequate or envious of you, your success, your relationships, something you have. That jealousy can twist a person. A colleague who feels overshadowed by you might, for instance, spread false rumors to bring you down. A friend insecure about themselves might gossip about you or try to turn others against you to feel superior. Their betrayal is an attempt to deal with their own feelings of inferiority. It's ironic, because betraying you doesn't truly fix them. It just damages the relationship. Power or control. Betrayal can also be about power. Perhaps in a relationship one person wanted to feel in control or assert dominance, so they betrayed the other as a way to one-up them or manipulate the situation. This might happen in workplaces or even in families. Say, a sibling leaking something to gain favor, or a business partner undercutting you to take control. It's a toxic way to feel powerful, rooted in their own issues of control and ego. Miscommunication or misunderstanding. Sometimes what feels like a betrayal stems from a grave misunderstanding. Perhaps they didn't truly grasp what you expected of them, or there was a lack of clear communication. This is less common in serious betrayals, but it can happen that someone hurt you thinking you wouldn't mind, or that it wasn't a big deal due to miscommunication. Regardless, it shows poor judgment on their part. Now, hearing these reasons might stir up more feelings, and that's okay. You might recognize one of these reasons as the cause of your own betrayal story. Maybe you see that your friend was driven by jealousy, or your partner by selfish lust, or your colleague by ambition. It's painful to accept, but also remember, none of these reasons is about you lacking worth. It wasn't because you weren't good enough. It wasn't because you did something to deserve it. It happened because of their shortcomings, fears, or flaws. As one expert put it, awareness of these reasons can help the betrayed person see, at the very least, that it had nothing to do with you. Understanding why they might have betrayed you can bring a measure of clarity. It's like putting pieces of a puzzle together. It still doesn't make the betrayal right, but it can stop your mind from running in circles, blaming yourself. You can start to release the question of what did I do wrong, because you realize the answer is likely nothing. This was their choice and mistake. Healing and finding growth. After betrayal. Now that we've acknowledged the pain and seen some reasons behind betrayal, the big question is, what do you do with this pain? How do you start to heal and maybe even find some meaning or growth on the other side of it? This is not easy, and I won't pretend there's a quick cure for the heartache. Healing from betrayal is a journey. It takes time, patience, and a lot of self-compassion. But it can also be a journey of personal growth. First, give yourself permission to grieve. Betrayal involves a loss. The loss of trust, the loss of the relationship as you knew it, perhaps the loss of certain hopes for the future. It's normal to feel grief, similar to mourning a loved one or going through a breakup. You might go through stages: shock, anger, sadness, and eventually acceptance. Feel those feelings when they come. Cry if you need to. Write in a journal, talk to a friend or therapist, or just sit with your emotions. This is how you begin to process what happened. Remember, as painful as those feelings are, each day you acknowledge them, you're one step closer to healing. Second, try not to isolate yourself. Betrayal can make us want to crawl into a shell and never trust anyone again. It's okay to take time alone, but don't shut out the people who still love and support you. Reach out to a close friend or family member who you do trust, someone who can listen and remind you that not everyone will hurt you. Third, focus on self-care and self-love. After betrayal, it's common to start questioning yourself. Was I not enough? How could I not see this coming? What's wrong with me? Please, be gentle with yourself. You were and are enough. Trust was broken, but that doesn't mean you were foolish to trust. It means someone proved undeserving. Instead of beating yourself up, do things that rebuild your strength and confidence. This might mean picking up a hobby you love, exercising, meditating, or simply getting out in nature for a walk to clear your head. Each act of taking care of your own needs is a step toward regaining your power and confidence. It reminds you that you matter and that your happiness does not depend on that one person who hurt you. Next, consider the lessons that this betrayal is teaching you. This might sound odd. After all, why should you have to learn a lesson when they did wrong? Yet, life has a way of offering growth in the darkest times. Perhaps this experience is teaching you about setting healthier boundaries going forward, or about being more discerning with trust, without closing your heart completely. Maybe it's teaching you about the importance of self-reliance, that your inner strength can carry you through when others let you down. Some people find that after surviving a betrayal, they discover a well of resilience inside they never knew they had. It doesn't justify what happened, but it can give you something to carry forward, a new wisdom or strength. Historical wisdom echoes this idea. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, believed that every obstacle or hardship can help us grow internally. As one modern writer puts it, the obstacle is the way. In the story I mentioned earlier, after Emperor Marcus was betrayed by his general, he chose not to seek petty revenge. Instead, he responded with integrity and forgiveness, keeping his own values intact. We're not all sage philosophers or emperors, but we can take inspiration from them. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. You have the power to choose a response that serves your healing. That might mean, for instance, deciding to forgive, not for the betrayer's sake, but for yours. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or saying it was okay. It means you're releasing the hold their wrongdoing has on your heart. It can be an incredibly freeing step, done in your own time. Alternatively, your response might be deciding to let go and move on without bitterness, focusing on your future rather than dwelling on the injustice. As one saying goes, holding on to anger is like holding a hot coal. You're the one who gets burned. You deserve better than to carry that bitterness. Importantly, healing also involves deciding what role, if any, this person will have in your life going forward. Betrayal often changes relationships permanently. You might choose to cut ties entirely, or you might set new boundaries if keeping some contact, like if co-parenting or working together is necessary. There's no right or wrong answer. It's about what's healthy for you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus advised that if someone's bad behavior is like dirt, you have the choice to step away so you don't get dirty too. In plain terms, you don't have to keep toxic people in your life. You can forgive from afar and prioritize your well-being. Surround yourself with people who respect you and uplift you. As you heal, you might start to notice something remarkable. You are growing. The person you become after going through this fire will be different from the person who first felt that stab of betrayal. You might become more compassionate to others' pain because you know how it feels. You might become more confident in yourself because you've learned you can survive what you thought might break you. Your trust may be a bit wiser now. You'll be able to tell who's truly worthy of it. But you'll also value the real friends and loved ones even more. Little by little, the betrayal becomes part of your story, not the end of your story. It's a chapter that hurts, but it gives rise to a new chapter of resilience and self-discovery. Conclusion: from betrayal to hope. My dear friends, If you remember nothing else from this talk, please remember this. The betrayal you experienced is not the end of your story. Yes, it has changed you, and yes, it hurts, but it will not define you forever. You have the strength to take this pain and shape it into something meaningful for your life. Perhaps it becomes the reason you learn to truly value yourself. Perhaps it becomes the catalyst for you to pursue a new path, or to help others who've been hurt. Over time, the wound begins to heal. There's a beautiful saying by the poet Rumi: "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Think about that. Sometimes, it's through our wounds that we grow the most. I believe your wound from this betrayal can become a source of new light in your life, a place where new understanding, strength, and hope can enter. Right now, you may still be in pain, and that's okay. Healing doesn't happen overnight. But day by day, as you release self-blame, as you surround yourself with support, and as you choose to look forward, that pain will begin to soften. You will find that you smile again, you trust again, and you love again. The fact that you were betrayed means you were capable of trust and love in the first place. And that is not a weakness, it is strength. It means your heart knows how to care deeply. Going through betrayal is like walking through fire, but you will come out the other side. And when you do, you'll carry the fire within you as a warm, guiding light rather than a destructive blaze. You'll know your own resilience in a way you maybe didn't before. You'll know that your value was never truly diminished by what someone else did. So, why did they betray you? In the end, because of their own limitations, not because of anything lacking in you. You are not broken. You were hurt, but you are healing. As you move forward, hold your head up. Take back your story. Use this experience to become kinder to yourself, wiser in your relationships, and stronger in your spirit. Thank you for listening, and remember, the best chapters of your life are still ahead of you. What was meant to wound you can become the very thing that makes you shine. You deserve trust, respect, and happiness, and those things will find you again as you heal. Keep hope in your heart. You are stronger than this betrayal, and your future is brighter than your past. Stay strong, and keep shining.